Thank you very much. Hello, and thank you for coming by. I'm Claudia Tornquist, President and CEO of Kodiak. Kodiak is a copper exploration company focused on the MPD copper project in southern British Columbia, where we made a high-grade discovery, the Gate Zone. We have this year a big drill program going on up to 25,000 meters. Very exciting year, very important year for the company, and I will tell you more about this in this presentation. I will be making forward-looking statements. Please keep that in mind. A couple of words about the people behind the company. Founder and chairman of Kodiak is Chris Taylor, whom I'm sure many of you know from our sister company, Great Bear, one of the big discovery successes in recent years. Chris is a very out-of-the-box thinking creative geologist, which was a big part of Great Bear's success and is also a big part of Kodiak's success. He's a porphyry geologist and very much leads our technical work. Myself, I've been in resources for over 20 years now, almost 10 years of those with Rio Tinto, mostly in sort of business, financial, commercial roles, things like M&A, business development, business evaluation. So Chris and I are very complementary. Chris very much is the technical side, geological side. I'm the business and capital markets side. I've got John Robbins on there as well, whom I'm sure many of you will know, mining entrepreneur with a fantastic track record. He has put together the Discovery Group, of which we are part. Fantastic group to be part of. Great network of contacts, industry relationships, technical know-how, and also just a lot of credibility. Many investors really like the Discovery Group because it's been around for many years, created lots of value for shareholders, and not all companies are welcomed in. So I feel very fortunate to be part of a strong group with Kodiak. MPD, our main project, this is where it's located. I cannot highlight enough how advantageous the location is. We are in southern British Columbia in an established mining district between two big copper mines. And what that means, we just have all the infrastructure you need for a drill program, very, very low exploration costs, and it's very easy, low cost to explore here now. And in the future, it will be even more of an advantage when it comes to building an economic mine. What this project has to deliver to become economic is a whole lot easier and lower grades and a lower hurdle than a project in the north or in the Andes or in a more remote location. Important point to highlight, MPD is not a greenfield project, but has lots of historic work. When we got the project, it had 50,000 meters of drilling already from previous operators, which was, of course, a big benefit. And you might ask, why has never anyone made a success? And there is one key reason to that. Nobody ever had the consolidated package. All the historic exploration was on small land packages. We were able to acquire the consolidated ground, and that really was the first step to make this a success. Another point I'd like to highlight is one of the reasons why we acquired the property. It has a big footprint. These black dots you see on the map, historic drill holes where copper and gold is already drilled, is over an area of 14 square kilometers. Big area, big footprint. We like that because that tells us it's a big system and really has the potential for size. And lastly, what did we do different? The historic exploration all was shallow. Most of those drill holes less than 200 meters, and our interpretation was that we are in the upper zones of a porphyry system. Higher grades are deeper down, so we drilled down to 800 meters, and it worked right away. We made the discovery in our maiden drill program, came out in late 2020 with this drill hole, which was a game changer for the company. We saw a big rally in our share price, raised $12.5 million at the time. Tech Resources came in as our largest shareholder with 9.9%, and that really set us in motion. With the funds we raised, we had 2 very busy years in 2021, 2022, where we drilled 25,000 meters per year and drilled out the gate zone. And this is where we got to. You see the before and after. On the right side, the red corridor shows where we intercepted mineralization, high-grade mineralization. So now the gate zone is a kilometer in length, 350 meters across, and we have drilled mineralization down to 900 meters. So a big, sizable, high-grade porphyry center. Certainly very pleased with where we got to with the gate zone. And now this year, we have also, again, big drill program ongoing, 25,000 meters, but it will be a very different program from the last 2 years in that we will not drill the gate zone, but 5 new targets. If you look at our property, I mentioned the big footprint before. We have 18 porphyry centers. Some of them, the red dots you see on the map, historically drilled, just like the gate zone. So we have near-surface mineralization already, but never tested deeper. And in addition, a number of new targets, the red dots. So of those 18 targets, we will this year test 5. And it's a very important, very exciting year for the company, because really this year, this drill program is about taking the model that brought discovery success at gate and replicating it at 5 new targets with the aim to discover the next gate zone, more high-grade porphyry centers, and also to demonstrate the size and the scale of this project. If we're successful and find high-grade mineralization at one or several more of these targets, that'll really be a big step forward for the project, because it will then give us visibility to some real size and bring it to the league where you can see size potential that would then be interesting to a major company. We started drilling in April. We are already well into our drill program, have currently 2 drills turning. We'll be drilling more until later in the autumn. And we have the first couple of results already from the west zone, which is in the southern part of our property. What did we find there? We came out with the first 3 holes from our drill program at the west zone, and we're very pleased with the results. We got long intercepts of porphyry mineralization, over 500 meters, got long high-grade intercepts, and we drilled mineralization down to a depth of over 800 meters. So the model played out just like at the gate zone. We were able to intersect higher grade, much higher grade mineralization at depth, and we're able to show that the mineralization extends to, well, for now, over 800 meters. But very importantly, we found at depth, we drilled into a breccia zone with mineralized breccias, with mineralized clasts. And that is a very exciting development, because that means further potential for mineralization at greater depth and typically higher grade. So we're seeing all the right things at the west zone, models playing out, very pleased with where we got to there. But obviously, only the first couple of holes. So these are 3 holes that we have now. We are expecting the next batch of results probably in September still. So that will be more from the west zone and from another target, the man zone, where we started drilling early in the season. And we'll have plenty more results. So in total, from some 40 or so holes that will come throughout the autumn, over the winter, into next year. So lots more to come, potential for more discoveries. And as I said, it's a very important and very exciting year for our company. Last but not least, capital structure. And a couple of points to highlight. We are tightly held, 64 million shares outstanding. Probably the most important figure on this slide is the cash in our treasury. We have 8 million in the treasury after having already executed a big part of this year's program. So we will end the year with cash and will be financed well into the next year, which in the current market is, of course, very, very important. Our largest shareholder, as I mentioned, is Tech Resources. They've been a very supportive shareholder, invested at the original discovery, at the time of the original discovery, and have maintained their investment and invested twice more since. We have one independent analyst covering us, Cormark, Stefan Ioannou. Share price target that Stefan has is $3, so a long way from what we are currently. Our share price is beaten down like everybody else's, but I think we're fundamentally in a good position. We're able to execute a big drill program, have lots and lots of results coming. The spike you see in our stock chart on the left, that was when we made our first discovery at the gate zone. We're working on the next one. So looking forward to reporting back with many more results over the weeks and months to come. Thank you.
Thanks, Claudia. We do have a couple minutes for questions here if anyone has one.
Claudia, great presentation. Understand that Grasberg is now down to almost 2 kilometers block caving. Is that part of the lens you're looking at in terms of block caving and opportunity vertically in terms of vectoring to deeper potential?
Well, we know for sure that we have more potential at depth. At the gate zone, we ended in mineralization and with good grades, so there's more to be explored and deeper holes to be drilled. And similarly at west, the breccia zone we tagged, that tells us there's something going on at depth and the potential for more and higher grade mineralization. So certainly looking into the future, there, with what we have now, we don't have a resource or a PEA, we can only speculate, but there's certainly underground potential there. We have, on the other hand, also mineralization straight from surface. For example, at the west zone, the results we just came out with, there's lots of historic information and drill results, and also our drill results right from surface. So there are areas that clearly have open pit potential. So would I have to look into the future and make a forecast? I would say it's a mixture of some open pit, but definitely also there's some underground material in there.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Claudia.
Thank you.